Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm so glad to be back with you today. I've had a number of life kind of things between my son's surgeries and other activities that have kind of kept me from being in my stamp room, so I'm so happy to be back. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'd love to share with you today this card I put together for a swap I participated in. I'm titling this one Peaceful Christmas. It uses the gorgeous Peaceful Place Specialty Designer Series papers. They're out of our July to December mini catalog. You can find them, and I should have bookmarked that. You know how that all goes. They're here between pages 36 and page 37 of the holiday catalog. Gorgeous silver accents. It's currently on back order, but you can order it. And I'm pairing it using the Picture This dies. They come, I keep mine in sleeves I've purchased. There's circles, and then there are also rectangles, and the rectangles are the ones that I am using. I'm using some basic black paper, some of our metallic embossing powders, that silver, gold, and copper that you get in a combination. And then I'm using some greetings from the Christmas to Remember stamp set, as well as the snowflakes from the Peaceful Cabin. That's where this paper is in a suite together. So what you will need to complete this card, you'll need a half a sheet of basic black, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'll have these measurements on my blog, justalittleink.com. And don't forget that you can order all of these things through my website, justalittleink.stampinup.net, if you don't already have a demonstrator. And I would love to be yours. You'll also need a 1/2 inch by, I think I cut this down to 2 1/4 inches of basic black. And then you need a 1/4 sheet for on the inside, 4 inches by 5 1/4. This one I already have on my die. You'll need a piece that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's cut down. These are panels. You get 4 on a sheet that are 6 by 6, and you'll cut it down to measure this. When you do and you run it through, here's that die. And I did it ahead of time so you don't have to watch me. Pull it on, and you're going to use all of this. I had intended to do a different layout for this card and just decided I loved how this all looked. So let me show you how fast this all goes together. So you'll have all these pieces. We'll set this over here, this over here. Let's get things together. So I've already scored, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. I love our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You will, for this one, need the full-sized machine because this is too large to fit through the mini. And then I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. Put a little bit on these inner panels so that they stay down. And that's a matter of lining up my panel. It's a nice, really fairly flat card. And I think any of our really detailed papers, this kind of layout sets them off so very nice. So I've got my panel here, and I've got each of these that I'm going to actually stick back in. I'm using some of our mini black dimensionals. They come in a combo pack of the regular sized and the minis. So I'm just going to take and stick some. I use quite a few just because I want all of this to stay popped up. And the black works so well when you're using black cardstock. So our basic black cardstock. So put all of these, pull all the little pieces off. So I'm just over somewhere. Okay. Then it's a matter of lining it up. And it just slightly pops it above what I've got going on here. And just repeat all the others. Pull it a little closer. There we go. And then finally the last panel here. You can see that it's got the soft, subtle trees that are on the other side. All of these black and gray prints are just so popular and I think so classic. So, across here. And then finally stick this last panel in. And that on its own makes a really pretty card. I think this could make a great birthday card. You could make this so many different seasons. But what I'm going to do with it, of course, is make it a Christmas card. So I'm going to take my strip of basic black. Again, I told you I was using some of the greetings that are from the Christmas to Remember. And this one says, magic is in the air. So I'm just going to come in, grab it, see how straight I go. Yeah, it's a little high. Easier to see things when you're not on camera. Come a little closer to the camera. We'll see how we did. Not too bad. So then I keep my powders in just empty sandwich meat containers. They work so well, I can keep them covered and it's easier to scoop in. So then I will heat this with my heat tool, something I have already done, and trim it down again to that 2 1/4 inch piece. So then I'm going to pull it in. You see I did the same thing on the other one. If you mess up, so you can just keep doing it. So I'm coming here. I don't want this popped up because I've popped up my panels. Come in here, grab it, not cover up too much of my trees, like so. And then I have one more piece. So we're going to pull out. I love the Stamparatus when I'm doing inside greetings. So I've lined up my greeting on the corner and just pull in my cardstock all the way into the corner. And I keep some just scrap pieces of washi tape so that it makes my magnets come off easier. Just a quick little tip. Ink up with some basic gray ink. This is a nice greeting for the inside. Love and joy come to you, and may it last the whole year through. Oops, and this is the beauties. I can keep coming up and down until I have it perfect. So I'm going to pull that out, clean that later. And then I used the little tiny snowflakes from the Peaceful Cabin stamp set. And I'm going to pull in a scrap piece of paper here because I don't want it full strength. I'm using basic gray, but I'm going to stamp off once before I stamp it. I don't push too hard. There we go. Then I could do the same thing with those snowflakes even on my envelope to give it a nice image. So then I'll come in here, put a little of my Stampin' Seal, open up my card, and see how quick this is. And I could be done, but it needs some embellishments. So I'm going to pull in here. I'll pull up just a little straighter. So to get my embellishments, I'm going to pull out some multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to use some of the subtle shimmer sequins. They are also available in this suite of products with the Peaceful Cabin. And what I love about them is that they've got really tiny sequins. So I'm just going to put little dots of glue, put that away, and I'm going to pull out my Take Your Pick tool. It's got a little sticky grabber on one end. You got 2 tips that you can put in. So what I found worked the best was just to come in here can grab just my little sequins. Here, I'm going to put one here. Sometimes it loves to stick onto the pick tool and not come off, but it's the easiest way to grab these little boogers. One here, and there's some other shimmer ones in here. I just really liked the little silver ones. So they're not too big. You could use rhinestones. There's a number of other number of other choices that you could use. Let's see if I can grab one before I... No, it's right over here. Okay, maybe. There we go. Stick it on that last one. And I found that if you let that glue dry just a teeny bit, like a few seconds, it's easier to stick onto it and not remain on your pick tool. So just like that, it's a simple, but I think elegant Christmas card. So thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, please ship me any comments on my YouTube video or on my blog. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and like and share and click that little bell so you get notifications the next time I have a video post. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.